Okay, I'm back. I'm trying to be quick. In the next 3 videos, this video and 2 more videos, I'm gonna introduce a new book. Whichever video gets the most views is the new book that we gonna start on. And even when I go back and do like the other 2 videos, I'm not gonna like redo chapter 1. So y'all gonna be hurt. Or maybe not. But anyway, it is chapter 14 of Dummy's Me, the Garden of Eden. In the still of night, fear of vibrant, listening for the first scream. Fear is only revealed by death, the conqueror of fear. Once death is not feared, fear does not exist. M. Gaynor. 69 ringing. 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 Hello? You reached Eden. I'm not available. Please leave a detailed message at the tone. Beep. I don't know if your machine can hold all the details. You know who it is. Call me when you get a minute. Hello? Hello? Hi, are you screening your calls now? I said it sounded like I had just come from the dentist. No, I was in the shower. What happened to you? I thought you were coming over earlier. I'll tell you when I get there. I'm on my way. Okay, baby. Okay, then bye. I should have went home. Me and Alexis would have felt sorry for me. I doubt it. She'd probably be happy I got my ass beat. She wanted to kick my ass for years. I walked through the lobby of Eden's condo. Everyone was staring. Moving to the side. Women clutching their handbags. I heard one guy say, "Damn, he's fucked up." Only if he knew. I felt worse than I looked. I stepped in the elevator alone, looking at all the images of myself staring back. Damn, I am fucked up, I said, looking in the mirrors on the elevator. I reached the 35th floor of paradise. Eden, Daddy's home. Hey, Daddy, she said, not seeing me. She said, yes, seeing me. I walked to the kitchen to get some ice for my face. I ripped the rest of what once was a nice shirt off and used it for a compress. Are you making yourself a drink? Eden asked after hearing the ice maker. No. Then what are you doing? I could hear footsteps coming towards me. I was sitting on the counter with my back to her. What are you doing? She asked as she rounded the corner. Oh my God, baby, what happened to you? She grabbed me and started to cry. What happened? What happened? Eden said, trembling. On my way over here, I got pulled over by the cops. I refused the sobriety test, and this is the result. I held my hands out to my side so she could see my battered body. Oh my God, Quincy, are you okay? I'll be okay. I'm just sore. Eden took the ice pack from me and gently placed it on my jaw. She kissed me on my chest, saying that she was sorry that I had experienced such a thing. She led me to the bathroom. Take off your clothes, baby. A warm bath will make you feel better. In the bathroom, I could really see the extent of my injuries. I was practically black and blue from head to toe. Eden had this big-ass hot tub. That was just the thing I needed. As I looked in the mirror, I saw Eden standing behind me, holding her hands over her eyes. What's wrong? I asked. You're back. You're back. It's okay, baby. It's okay. I grabbed and hugged her. I can imagine what my back must have looked like. When I balled up to protect myself, my back took most of the damn abuse. One water for me. Eden walked over to the tub slowly and turned on the water, pouring oars in as well. This will make you feel better, baby. I stepped into the tub. I stepped into the tub trying to appear tough when I really wanted to cry like a punk. The warm water felt as if it were 10,000 degrees. I sat down, extended my body, and relaxed. Thank you, I said softly to Eden. For what? Eden asked with tearful eyes. Thanks for being here for me. Eden stood up looking down at my battered face. She took off her clothes and got in the tub with me. She straddled me, holding my face with her small, soft hands. She grabbed a sponge and gently began to wash my body. She washed my face, neck, and upper torso. She stood up, repositioning herself. I'm not hurting you, am I? No, baby, it feels good. Eden rubbed a sponge across my chest, down to my groin. Quincy, you're hard. Your thing is hard. I'm hurt, not dead, I replied. We both laughed in union. You're in no condition. You're in no what? What? I'm making up words. You're in no condition to handle this. Relax, relax. When you're better, I'll give you some. I could live with that. In the meantime, do something for me to make me feel better. Like what? Like what? She asked, smiling. Show me something. Wow. Show me something. Eden began to rub and fondle her breast. She sat on the edge of the tub facing me. She grabbed the oil and poured it over her body. She spread her legs, raising her knees, rubbing on her vagina. She opened herself so that I could see into her pink tunnel of love. How many fingers can you take? I asked to influence her actions. She inserted one finger inside, moving in and out, then 2 fingers, then 3. Eden leaned her head back, enjoying the way she was feeling. Make yourself feel good, baby. I could tell she was excited. Her clitoris was swollen. Do it, baby. Do it. I raised my foot out the tub and put my big toe in her. I'm sorry, y'all. She gyrated her pelvis, holding on to the tub with 4 of her toes inside with 4 of my toes inside of her. I removed my foot and she slipped slowly back into the tub, looking at me with half open eyes. Are you okay? I asked her. I'm fine. I stood up and stepped out the tub, drying myself, looking at Eden. Go down. Wow. Go lay down, baby. I'm coming, she said. I limped to the bedroom, reflecting on the day's events. I should write a book about this. I sat on the edge of the bed and looked out at the ocean. Eden entered the room. Put your feet in the bed. She lifted my feet and placed them down softly. You like my feet, huh? I asked. I love your feet. She lay down beside me with her head on my chest. What are you going to do, Quincy? About what? I asked. About everything. I'm going to live. I'm going to live. We fell asleep. Damn, we there? We going to sleep? We going to sleep at these bitches' houses? We there? Wake up. Wake up. Get your clothes. Get up. Get up. Eden yelled frantically. What? I said a bit disoriented. Get your shit. What's wrong? My people out here. I heard the elevator's doors close. Get in the closet. Get in the closet. I scooped up all of my belongings and ran to hide in the closet. Under normal conditions, I would have went out the window or went out the back door or told that cat to check his woman because she chose me. But I was 35 stories up. I didn't need this. While in the closet, I heard loud screams and cursing. Who you got in here, bitch? Who you got in my shit? A voice yelled out. Calm down, baby, replied Eden. Who in here? I peeked through a crack, trying to make out the images. My heart was beating fast. I was too hurt to fight or run. Hold up, that sounded like a woman's voice. At that very moment, the closet doors flew open. I was looking down the barrel of a chrome 45. Ooh, it's about to go down. Y'all wanna stick around for this. Y'all wanna stick around for this. Okay, because I'm a little thirsty, but we not even gonna go down. The first one out of the 1 out of 3 is Girls from the Hood by Nikki Turner and Chichina with Roy Glenn. I ain't gonna tell y'all who I'm leaning to. I'm just gonna give it to y'all. Give it to you. Get to you. Who we got first? Unique. We got Unique by Nikki Turner. Just part of the game. Chapter 1. Ring. Unique knew automatically that it was her man. Took. Calling from jail. This was a call she had been waiting for, praying for. She had been through hell with gasoline jars on just to be able to get this call. The phone company had cut off the phone 2 days before, but Unique schemed and hustled up to $300 to pay to have the service reconnected, so she wouldn't miss Took's call. Before Took went to jail, $300 was play money to Unique. She used to practically throw away $300 on meaningless things like a bottle of Cristal, a dinner for her and her girl, Stroller, at one of Richmond's most exquisite restaurants. But to gather $300 nowadays, especially for a phone bill, was surely a difficult task. If she never respected Took for all the work he put in and on the streets trying to make a better life for them, she did now. The past few months without him truly made her feel a newfound love and respect for him. She had answered the phone. Hello? Hello? Replied the automated operator. This is Bell Atlantic with a collect call from Took. Unique heard Took's voice as he spoke his name. Boy, did he sound good. The automated voice continued. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now. To accept this call, press 0 now. Without any hesitation, Unique pressed the button to accept the call. The automated voice responded. Your call is being connected. Thank you for using Bell Atlantic. Hello? Took said with a sigh of relief. Hey, boo, she gushed when she heard his voice. The sound soothed her soul. Now everything she had gone through to get the phone back on suddenly felt well worth it. The anguish, frustration, and humiliation was all erased from her memory. I was trying to call, and I couldn't get through, Took complained. I know, boo. They cut the phone off. Damn, I thought Sean was going to give you the money to pay the bill. Well, he didn't. Damn, I can't believe that nigga. I know, boo, but don't get upset about it. Well, did Fat T ever give you that money he owes me? Nope. Call that nigga on a three-way. Boo, I'm tired of calling him. He don't answer the phone when he see my number. Then when I walked around the street the other day to see if I saw him, it was like he had the lookout guys looking out for me. Like I was the police. Every time I go over there, they say he ain't out there. Now when have you known Fat T to even lead the projects? Unique asked. I swear to God, I'm going to take care of that fat 12 sandwich eating motherfucker when I get home. Boo, don't worry about it. I'm going to get a job. She transferred the phone from her right hand to her left, then rubbed her itchy nose. Where you going to get a job at? Took asked. I don't know yet, but I got to do something. As hard as times are right now, I'll take a job anywhere. Oh, hell no. You ain't working nowhere either. Boo, for real. I got to be able to hold these bills down until you get back out here. I mean, I know Train got my back because he did give me $100 towards the phone bill, but I can't be dependent on him to come through for me all the time. He got his own life, not to mention the slew of baby mamas and hoes always begging. I mean, I got to make sure I got a plan for me, just in case he gets locked the hell up too. Baby, I know you don't want me to work, and I know if you were here, I wouldn't have to. But boo, I gotta do what I gotta do. I can't be going through this. I can't be going through what I went through yesterday trying to get this phone on. And last week, when I didn't even have gas money to come and see you, this was the game. This was the game she had fallen out of her mouth. Unique wasn't really thinking about getting any job to hold the bills down. As far as she was concerned, she shouldn't be paying any bills anyway. She knew there were plenty of suckers dying for a lick. And with so many suckers on the streets of Richmond, her bills would get paid one way or another. Still, she had to fake like she was so responsible, holding the fort down while Took was gone, so she could keep him under control. He couldn't know the real reason she was going out to get a job. She was going to be a real player's ball. She was going to a real player's ball where all the re-owned players, pimps, and dons from all over the country would be. And she needed the money to buy just the right outfits to catch a man who would pick up exactly where Took left off. She was only telling Took what she knew would sound good to him. I gotta keep the phone on so I can talk to you, baby. Not to mention the other little household bills, lights, gas, and water. She rolled the blunt while she was pouring the game on Took. Damn. She thugging. She thugging. Plus, I gotta keep a little food in the refrigerator. I mean, I know this place is paid for, but remember, I got a second mortgage on this house to pay the lawyer for your appeal. So I gotta make sure I keep up those payments, or I ain't gonna have nowhere to live. You knew that laying a guilt trip on Took was always a good way to keep him under control and off her back. I hate you living in that raggedy ass sugar shack any fucking way. Took sucked his teeth. Well, it would've if you would've had Black Mike and all them coming over to our house talking about they your right hands, then we would still have our house. But the state got that now. I ain't complaining though. She put the blunt to her lips and lit it. You right, Took said quickly. Now I want the conversation to go where she was trying to take it. But boo, I hate the fact that you gotta live in a spot that I used to have as my crap house. And it's right across the street from them raggedy ass projects too. Me too. I'm just grateful that it was paid for and the folks ain't take this too. Otherwise, my ass would be right on the streets and your lawyers wouldn't be paid. She looked on the bright side too. She inhaled a hit off her blunt. Took was mad as hell, but trying not to reveal his frustrations to her. Alright, he said, but just make sure you get some hours so I can be able to talk to you. You know you ain't gotta say that. She wasn't deaf. She could hear his frustration and anger. The reality was he was no madder than she was. She had accepted the fact that out of sight, out of mind was exactly how the dude she owed Took thousands of dollars felt. They wouldn't be giving up any money to her while Took was away. It wasn't anything out of ordinary. It was simply a part of the game. Unique wasn't worried about it though. Even though Took was sentenced to 9 years, he could get about 18 months off his sentence for good behavior if he did what he had to do. It wouldn't be long before he would be back on the bricks. And sure as his name was Took, he'll take care of each and every thug who owed him and shitted on him. Took was one of the most well-known and also one of the most feared guys around the streets of Richmond. A hell of a hustler. Getting money was never a problem for him. He had a heart of gold and went to the ends of the earth for his friends. But to the other big-head hustlers, and especially his foes, well, that was another story. It was his own enemies who gave him the unusual name Took because that's exactly what he did. He rolled up to a crap game and never shot the dice. He just took the money. He owned plenty of corners and crack houses in the 321, 359, and 643 areas. Still, at any given time, the crack houses and corners that belonged to his foes became his just on GP, general principle. He would roll up on the corners, lay the dealers down, and took everything from them, down to the shoes on their feet. The crack houses were the same. He would roll up in there and took all the drugs and money out of there, holding every soul at gunpoint. It didn't matter to him if they were men or women. He didn't discriminate. He would make them strip down to their boxers and panties and bras. They all knew better to disobey his direction. For if they did, they would without a doubt be the next one biting the dust. Most of the time, Took rolled a legion of tick birds, but he never actually needed an entourage. If he happened to be by himself and run into some clown who needs to be dealt with, he could hold his own. Dang, he thugging like that, huh? Ironically, Took didn't have the look of the average hustler. He could pass for a young adolescent, barely weighing in at 125 pounds and standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. There was no hair on his baby face, and his close haircut didn't help him look any older. He always wore thin, wide-frame Versace or Fetty glasses, which along with a backpack contained a couple of bogus textbooks, gave him the nerdy look of a young, innocent schoolboy. For a long time, his appearance led the police to overlook him, mistaking him for a studious boy stuck living in the hood. After years of manipulating police intelligence, he was finally taken in. But even then, he was taken in as a juvenile. Took was a perfect example of the idea that you should never judge a book by its cover. Took might have looked like a little boy, but he was very much a grown man, especially Ware County. Some folks say it's not the size of a ship, it's the motion of the ocean that matters. Well, if Took's manhood was to be classified as a ship, it would be a cruise ship. As far as his motions in the ocean, it was no secret that Took knew how to rock his boat in a way that made women fall to his feet. This fact made Took so confident in his sex game that he wasn't worried in the least about Unique giving it to another man while he was away. Besides, she had made Took wait 3 months to get his first taste of that coochie. And the average brother on the streets wasn't going to wait 3 weeks, let alone 3 months. There was too much easy coochie out there on the streets of Richmond for them to be waiting for Unique. Maybe a corporate dude working a 9 to 5 would wait 3 months to get a piece, but Unique wasn't the type of woman for a dude trying to get ahead in a business world anyway. Without a doubt, she was beautiful. She had long, flowing, sandy brown hair and cat-like hazel eyes. Her skin was flawless, and she had a distinctive mole near her lip, just like the one that made supermodel Cindy Crawford famous. Standing 5'4" inches, 5 feet 4 inches, her body was a perfect 10, firm, C-cup breast, a big Baduka butt, and gorgeous hips carving out from her small waist. No matter what Unique wore, whether she had paid $20 for it or convinced some sucker to pay $200, she made it look like $1,000,000. Unique was definitely easy on the eyes, but she had little to no book sense. This was the one flaw that Took believe made her unworthy of the 9 to 5 dudes who might desire her. When she did go to school, it was only if she had something new to wear. After she met Took, he provided her with so much money that she started spending her days shopping, then waiting on the couch in section lingerie for Took to come home and make love to her. With a lavish lifestyle, Took was able to give her school seem like more of a burden than anything. She dropped out completely by the time she was in 10th grade. Took was happy to value Unique with her pretty face and banging hourglass figure with everything she ever dreamed of. What he didn't know, though, was that at the end of the day, the love of his life would turn out to be a bona fide hood rat. Took had been snatched off the streets to do lengthy bid thanks to his once upon a time homeboys turned snitch. What he needed now was a ride-it-out chick. What you needed? One who had some goals and dreams beyond living on the couch waiting for him to bring home some more money. He needed someone who at least had a job or save some of that first money for a rainy day. Someone who might open her own business so that they could have a peace of mind while he was lying down doing his bid. At the very least, he needed someone who wasn't spending recklessly while her man was on trial, letting 45 grand slip through her fingers like water. Damn! When Took was on trial, Unique was too busy shopping to stop and think, what if he doesn't beat his charges? She failed to realize that her man was being charged in a Commonwealth state, not to mention the capital of Confederate, and he could be facing a 20 to 30-year sentence. It didn't even cross her mind to do research on crimes in Virginia, like the one he had been accused of. She had no book smarts and even less common sense. So while Took stood trial, she continued on with life as usual, living by a motto, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. Now she was suffering the consequences, scourging for $300 to get the phone turned on, and Took was sitting in jail, unaware that his girl, the one he had chosen to be on his team, was beautiful on the outside but had no soul. And last but not least, Chapter 11 of Stuart Little, The Automobile. For 3 days, everyone hunted all over the house for Margot, without finding so much as a feather. I guess she had spring fever, said George. A normal bird doesn't stay indoors this kind of weather. Perhaps she has a husband somewhere and is going to meet him, suggested Mr. Little. She has not, sobbed Stuart bitterly. That's just a lot of nonsense. How do you know? Asked George. Because I asked her one time, cried Stuart. She told me she was a single bird. Everyone cursed the snowbell closely, but the cat insisted he knew nothing about Margot's disappearance. I don't see why you have to make a parish out of me just because this agreeable little chirpy flew the coop, said Snowbell irritably. Stuart was heartbroken. He had no appetite, refused food, and lost weight. Finally, he decided that he would run away from home without telling anyone and go out into the world and look for Margot. While I'm about it, I might as well seek my fortune too, he thought. Before daybreak next morning, he got out his his biggest handkerchief, and in it he placed his toothbrush, his money, his soap, his comb, and a brush. A clean suit of underwear and his pocket compass. I ought to take along something to remember my mother by, he thought. So he crept into his mother's bedroom where she was still asleep, climbed the lamp cord to her bureau, and pulled a strand of Mrs. Little hair from her comb. He rolled the hair up neatly and laid it in the handkerchief with the other things. Then he rolled everything up into a bundle and tied it onto one end of a wooden match. With his gray felt hat cocked jauntily on one side of his head and his pack slung across his shoulder, Stuart strode softly out of the house. "Goodbye, beautiful house," he whispered. "I wonder if I will ever see you again." Stuart stood uncertainly for a moment in the street in front of the house. The world was a big place in which to go looking for a lost bird. North, south, east, or west? Which way should he go? Stuart decided that he needed advice on such an important matter. So he started uptown to find his friend, Dr. Carney, the surgeon dentist, owner of the Scorner Wasp. The doctor was glad to see Stuart. He took him right into his inner office where he was busy pulling the man's tooth. The man's name was Edward Clydesdale, and he had several wires of gauge in his cheeks to hold his mouth open, good and wide. The tooth was a hard one to get out, and the doctor let Stuart sit on his instrument tray so they could talk during the operation. "This is my friend Stuart Little," he said to the man with a graze in his cheek. "Oh, how are you, Stuart?" replied the man as best as he could. "Very well, thank you," replied Stuart. "Well, what's on your mind?" Stuart asked Dr. Carney, seizing hold of the man's tooth with a pair of pliers and giving a strong pull. "I ran away from home this morning," explained Stuart. "I am going out into the world to seek my fortune and to look for a lost bird. Which direction do you think I should start out in?" Dr. Carney twisted the tooth a bit and rocked it back and forth. "What color is the bird?" he asked. "Brown," said Stuart. "Better go north," said Dr. Carney. "Don't you think so, Mr. Clydesdale?" "Uh-huh," said Mr. Clydesdale. "What?" cried Stuart. "Uh-huh," said Mr. Clydesdale. "He says look in Central Park," explained Dr. Carney, tucking another big water gauze into Mr. Clydesdale's cheek. "And it's a good suggestion. Oftentimes people with decayed teeth have sound ideas. Central Park is a favorite place for birds in the spring." Mr. Clydesdale was nodding his head vigorously and seemed about to speak again. "What?" cried Stuart, delighted at this new kind of talk. "What say, Mr. Clydesdale?" "He says if you can't locate the bird in Central Park, take a New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railway train and look in Connecticut," said Dr. Carney. Then he removed the rolls of gauze from Mr. Clydesdale's mouth. "Rinse, please," he said. Mr. Clydesdale took a glass of mouth water that was beside the chair and rinsed his mouth out. "Tell me this, Stuart," said Dr. Carney. "How are you traveling? On foot?" "Yes, sir," said Stuart. Hold on. Okay, I'm good. I'm doing good. "Well, I think you better have a car. As soon as I get this tooth out, we'll see what can be done about it. Open wide, Mr. Clydesdale." Dr. Carney grabbed the tooth with the pinchers again, and this time he pulled so long and so hard and with such determination the tooth popped out, with such a great relief to everyone, particularly to Mr. Clydesdale. The doctor then led Stuart into another room. From a shelf he took a tiny automobile about 6 inches long, the perfect miniature Economobile Stuart had ever seen. It was bright yellow with black fenders, a striped line car, a graceful design. I made this myself, Dr. Carney said. I enjoy building model cars and boats and other things when I am not extracting teeth. This car has a real gas line motor in it. It has quite a good deal of power. Do you think you can handle it, Stuart? Certainly, replied Stuart, looking into the driver's seat and blowing the horn. But isn't it going to attract too much attention? Won't everyone stop and stare at such small automobile? They would if they could see you, replied Dr. Carney, but no one will be able to see you or the car. Why not? Asked Stuart. Because this automobile is thoughtfully modern car. It's not only noiseless, it's invisible. No one can see it. I can see it, remarked Stuart. Push that little button, said the doctor, pointing to a button on the instrument panel. Stuart pushed the button. Instantly the car vanished from sight. Now push it again, said the doctor. How can I push it when I can't see it? Asked Stuart. Feel around for it. So Stuart felt around till his hand came in contact with the button. It seemed like the same button, and Stuart pushed it. He heard a slight grinding noise and felt something slip out from under his hand. Hey, watch out, yelled Dr. Carney. You pushed the starter button. She's off. There she goes. She's away. She's loose in the room. Now we'll never catch her. He grabbed Stuart up and placed him on a table where he wouldn't be hit by a runaway car that he can't see. Oh, mercy. Oh, mercy, Stuart cried when he realized what he'd done. It was a very awkward situation. Neither Dr. Carney nor Stuart could see that little automobile, yet it was rushing all over the room under its own power, bumping into things. So that's what I'm going to lead off from this. And we're going to finish that chapter of Dr. Stuart Little in the next one. And I will say we're out and I'll see you in another day. But don't go nowhere. Stay right there.